Hello everyone, Eternal Flame here to talk about 10 Shadows again. Now that we've gotten Totality Beast, and something that I've been hyping up for a while, the strength of what a true Totality would hypothetically be, now that we see it's possible for Sukuna to combine Shikigami. Anyway, before we even get into this video, be sure to subscribe if you like anime content like this. You can always unsubscribe if you want and be on the path to 4K, so it would be really great if you did subscribe. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed the vid. So in the most recent chapter, chapter 233, we see Sukuna combine Nue and Totality in order to create a new Shikigami known as Agito, Cursed Spirit. Now, while I and a lot of people do believe there is much more than just Nue and Totality combined into it, that is the only two Shikigami that we actually have confirmed that are combined into it. I think it's a lot more, if I'm being honest with you, but that's the only ones that are actually set out by the text itself and the translation for now. On a side note on that topic, before we even get into what the full power of Totality is, I do want to establish that I do think current Nue is a fusion of Orochi and Nue to explain the fact Nue is the only one that got a massive size upgrade, and we kind of see it as a snake-like tail. So if Nue was fused with Orochi, and then just this four beast of Totality, Nue, and Orochi exists, and it's between those three, it would make us a bit of sense. I wouldn't be too surprised, but I do want to just establish that and get that out the way. There is also a chance that it has the Madoka Deer infused into it too, due to it actually having antlers like the Madoka Deer. So it could be a fusion between those Shikigami of Madoka Deer, Totality, Nue, and Orochi. We know for a fact Nue and Totality are infused into this new Shikigami that's a Chimera. Now this is incredibly impressive because it's showing being able to at least keep up physically wise with Mahoraga and Sukuna. And this is the combination of two what I would consider low-end Shikigami, as well as maybe a healer Shikigami and a mid-end Shikigami if you think Orochi is pretty strong because of Orochi's entire ability to hold Sukuna in the air when he was three fingers. But even then, this is three Shikigami that are being amped by Sukuna, yes, but they are mid-tier Shikigami and low-tier Shikigami, which should show quite a lot because that's their base strength levels. Now, it should be noted, all Shikigami overall are stronger under Sukuna in comparison to Megumi. While they are not bigger, Shikigami gets stronger with the user, and now that Sukuna is a much stronger user than Megumi, or at least Megumi was at the time, they are all just much stronger overall, which is why they're able to keep up with and do this well against Gojo. They're not winning, but they're at least somewhat relative in the actual fight. Now, the important part that I'm establishing is, while yes, these Shikigami are stronger under Sukuna in comparison to Megumi, the other Shikigami would also still be stronger under Sukuna, and they all are getting the same amp in comparison. And these are just the combination of three lower-end Shikigami, and they're able to do that much. So imagine what the other Shikigami could do in terms of pure raw combat, and just how much of a buff it would be. Because it's not just abilities they're going to gain access to, which I'm going to get back into for a little bit, but it's more so, if they're all Totality into one body, they are going to get an extreme, massive physical amp. For example, if Mahoraga is added into it, it's basically multiplying Mahoraga by Mahoraga, in my opinion. Or it could be seen as that, or just adding a Mahoraga to a Mahoraga, because these two are already similar enough in physical stats, so if you were to Totality one into the other, they would get a massive buff, let alone the Bull, which the Bull, it's a high-end Shikigami. It's not Mahoraga level, obviously, but it's still a high-end Shikigami nonetheless, and able to do quite a bit of damage. There is the Elephant, which the Elephant is still able to hurt Gojo and be relevant in the fight, and one of the higher end Shikigami as well. Now, yes, I know it is high pressurized water that's being specifically aimed and not just a full torrent of water, but it still is capable of hurting Gojo nonetheless, so it's still relevant to bring up. And then there are the other Shikigami, which I'm now going to get into what the abilities of a hypothetical max Shikigami would be. Because, the physical strength, speed, durability, all of that of a max Shikigami would be insane. It would be top of the verse levels already, just because of how much power is getting stacked into one body and all of the curse energy that's flowing into that one body. When I said before it's Mahoraga plus, it is Mahoraga plus. Because it's just better than Mahoraga in every single way, but now I'm going to talk into what abilities it has, and the abilities it has is really the reason why a true Totality is just so absolutely terrifying. Especially because, because of its physical strength, it's going to overcome some of the Shikigami's weaknesses that they have, but now I'm just going to get into the abilities and stop wasting time. So up first, one of the more basic abilities going to have, I'm just going to slowly go in order. It's going to have lightning manipulation and water creation. That is due to Nue being able to shoot lightning at people. as well as Max Elephant's ability to shoot water out. And then it's going to be able to stack those together, which the water has shown to be making lightning much more effective on top of that. It also gains the ability to fly, so it's not losing to Hannah in a fight anymore, I'm just saying. Up next, taking a massive step up from lightning and water manipulation, is the ability to build up distance against the person, and the more distance you have against the person, the more power you have in said charge, which is the ability that the Piercing Bull has access to, and was able to completely go through Yorozu's armor when it was in the hands of 15-finger Sukuna. So yeah, that's going to be an incredibly overpowered ability. So you have a constant growing power ability as well as lightning and water. But wait, there is more. The Shikigami would get access to Rapid Escape's ability, which through Rapid Escape's ability, it's able to make clones that are each equal to itself. And that is going to be one of the most busted abilities of this entire Shikigami. Because, like, imagine this thing that is, like, far beyond Mahoraga in terms of strength. Good, now you have to imagine fighting an entire swarm of them, because Rapid Escape alone is able to plug up an entire Colosseum with this massive amount of things. Imagine just all of these Mahoragas just charging you on all ends, and with these abilities combined, and it's kind of just nuts. You also get access to an Extendable Tongue, which Extendable Tongue is even faster than the user is by a long shot if we assume Megumi and Todo's entire fight scales upward up to this point, due to the fact that the Toads were able to catch Todo while Megumi was getting blitzed around by Todo. So yeah, there are these really fast tongues from hundreds of Mahoragas that could all be launched out at once as attacks. But then there's finally the main ability, this main huge ability of Maharaga's Adaption, where the more it gets hit by an attack and after the wheel spins, it ends up adapting to said concept and said attack, making it less and less effective on you. Making it so it can A, deactivate the technique entirely, as we see with Gojo, because it's just completely bypass Limitless, so whenever it touches Limitless, the Limitless barrier just goes poof and goes away, but also is able to adapt its fighting style to change depending on the opponent, and finally just make it so attacks are not effective against this thing. So yeah, these are just all huge, really powerful abilities that would all be compounded into a true totality. Oh, and to make it even better, it has constant RCT active in a massive field thanks to Madoka Deer, so it'll just constantly keep healing both itself and its wielder, so good luck one-shotting it before it can heal with both the Mahoraga Adaption wheel healing it and Madoka Deer healing it all at once. And if you think these are all busted on their own, because trust me, all of these techniques are busted on their own. Imagine them all in combination with each other and what Sukuna or a 10 Shadows user could pull off in combination on one Shikigami. Because here is the thing, right? Sure, yes, it might be your nature to think, oh, it's probably better to keep them as separate Shikigami for strategy, right? Here is the thing. A totality just automatically makes up for each of their weaknesses. Like, Rapid Escape, it's not that durable on its own. Oh, congrats, now you have Maharaga's durable-ass body, which is able to take hits from Sukuna and Gojo, as well as the Agito Curse, which is also able to do that. So yeah, now all the clones are not being one-shot and are actually usable in combat. Oh no, the clones aren't that powerful. Well, congrats, you have Maharaga's attacking strength, and you have Piercing Bull's ability to constantly build up power. Oh no, these Shikigami don't have ranged abilities. Well, now you have Nue that can shoot down Sky Lightning, which Sukuna showed off, and you have water attacks that you can fill an area with to then use Sky Lightning on. Like, I need to put this into people's perspectives, right? Oh, and oh no, you're fighting against a flying opponent? Now you have Nue. You can fly and deal with that too. They ain't escaping you. I need to put this into perspective for all of you. Just how powerful a true totality is, and the possibility that this even can happen now, because we see Sukuna directly combine several of his Shikigami, and it can happen, and it will likely happen too. Like, if this does happen, it's going to be incredibly busted, and I genuinely don't see how Gojo or anyone else is going to stand up to it, and it should be possible to happen. There is no reason why. Like, maybe Mahoraga can't be totality. I doubt it. I think the reason that Sukuna hasn't totality Mahoraga yet is because Mahoraga on its own is already able to damage Gojo, so why not fatigue Gojo before you totality everything together and just make this Giga Amp Shikigami and just make that able to deal with Gojo. Maybe Gojo's new Hollow Technique can wipe out Mahoraga and all of the amped Mahoraga clones all at once from the new totality, like whatever this totality is and how powerful it would be. Maybe depending on how big it is, But it's just sort of insane how powerful a true totality and combination of all 10 Shadows abilities would be, because they make up for each other's weaknesses. Elephant's too slow? Oh, now you have the speed of Mahoraga. Like I also want you guys to imagine all of the combos that could possibly be done for this. For example, all of the clones of a Shikigami are considered the same Shikigami, right? So if one clone gets hit, it might potentially be the case that all of them get the adaptation from Mahoraga, and Mahoraga can just have like the real one chilling off in the background waiting as clones are sacrificing themselves to deal with it and get hit each time. Oh wait, no, now the real Mahoraga is completely immune, and you have to deal with an army of Mahoraga amped soldiers that are able to increase their power by charging in a straight line at you, shoot lightning down on you from the heavens that also is potentially adapted, shoot water at you, etc. Like, if everything gets the adaptation from the beast, because there's no reason it shouldn't, and on top of that, all of these abilities being stacked together, just being used at once on a person, it's insta GG. Like, a true totality is what I consider the pinnacle of 10 Shadows. Like, it is truly what I consider the pinnacle of 10 Shadows, and to make it even more busted, we don't know what the 9th Shadow is. Agito is not the 9th Shadow. Agito is a chimera. We don't know what the 9th Shadow is. The 9th Shikigami could still be a mystery. It might be Agito. I might be tripping. But even if it is, this is still busted. I have been talking as if Agito is the 9th Shikigami. We're not even making the assumption that it is. And here is the thing also. If one of my other theories is right, and because my Chimera fusion theory is seeming to get more and more right, it might be possible to Chimera all of these into the wielder themselves. And for those of you wondering, why would this be so powerful on a wielder? Well, if y'all know what Sukuna did in this most recent chapter of turning the water into a piercing arrow-like attack, imagine that type of creativity with all of the abilities of 10 Shadows at once, and all of their strengths on a human mind that could be smart in battle IQ and that amp all at once. Oh, and the ability to use a domain expansion, so you can make it so all of your attacks are a sure hit. But I'm not going to go too in-depth with that one, because I A, have an entire video on it, and B, that is just way too theoretical for this video, because everything that I've talked in this video is possible to happen, and y'all should prepare yourself for the possibility of this happening. Because it is possible to happen, it's absolutely terrifying. Just think of this massive Shikigami. And to make it even worse, right? And this is something I just thought of. Sukuna can just focus on amping one Shikigami now, instead of splitting his power among several of the Shikigami, purely because of the fact that it's just like focusing all of your energy into one Shikigami. Like, anyone who's watched Naruto knows this example of Pain, and how Tendo Pain is a lot stronger than any of the other pains, and that is because Nagato can focus all his chakra into one. You're effectively doing that with one Shikigami that has all the powers of all of the other Shikigamis, which makes it have unstoppable adaptation, water and lightning abilities, the ability to fly, the ability to make clones of yourself, a positive curse energy sword, the ability to grow power as long as you charge at a person, and RCT that's constantly pulsing out that Sukuna used to heal himself when he was fighting against Yorozu. And it's just like a massive field at RCT that. Like, it's the biggest field of RCT we have seen in the entire show, an entire manga. And all of that is just being combined into one Shikigami, one true totality, one true ultimate beast that could fight someone, that could heal, that can adapt to any attack, and come over any weakness that it could possibly have. Because each of the Shikigami have weaknesses, but a totality gets all their body parts together and would make up for the weaknesses, because the weaknesses wouldn't exist anymore, because another Shikigami makes up for its strength, effectively making a perfect, near unstoppable weapon, unless you can somehow manage to wipe it out before it even gets a chance to clone itself. But good luck with that, because you're getting Maharaga's speed, plus something that's relative to Mahoraga in speed, plus other Shikigami too, all of that being stacked onto one totality. But hey, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe there's a chance that true totality won't come, or maybe there's a chance that this isn't even possible and I'm just overreacting, or hey, maybe true totality is nowhere near as busted as I think it is. But if you think that, I'm going to be honest with you, you're wrong. Anyways, I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section below on this entire topic of the potential of what a true totality would be like. Or maybe just come up with potential combination tactics that could be done. Because I have a feeling I only scratched the surface of it, and if I really wanted to talk about all the potential combinations that could be done with true totality, I would be here for an hour. And hey, maybe we might do a sequel video where I just include every single interesting combination that could be done, or like combination tactic of a true totality in the future, from all of you guys in the comment section below. Anyways, before we end this video, be sure to tell me what you guys think on this entire vid. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.